All right, so this is just the next step in interior angles of a triangle and the angle measurements. So this one is dealing with algebraic expressions, okay? But two things I want to remind you of before we get into some actual examples is that the sum of all the interior, so inside of the triangle, all the interior angles in any triangle will always add up to 180 degrees. Every time, guys. That number does not change, okay? And again, when we set up, when we are finding an interior angle, we have to set up an equation. We have to, okay? So it's always going to be equal to 180 degrees, and we have to set up an equation. Okay, so we are going to start these problems off exactly the way we did with the other ones, okay? Now notice that instead of it just being a variable x or c or some unknown, now it's an actual expression. So now they're saying that angle is going to be 7x minus 3. That's what the degree is going to equal, okay? So we need to set it up the exact same way. So we take 75 plus 59 plus this entire angle, so 7x minus 3, and all three of these angles, when we add them together, are still going to equal 180. Now guys, when I wrote that 7x minus 3, when I wrote that 7x minus 3 into my problem, I dropped the parentheses because the only reason why they have the parentheses around that is so that you don't separate these while they are inside of the triangle, okay? So I went ahead and dropped it. Guys, now you're just solving a multi-step equation, okay? The first thing you are still going to do is combine your like terms. So if I had whole numbers, I have to put them together. Now be careful, that's a negative 3. So 75 plus 59 minus 3. So I get 131. And then I have to put plus 7x equals 180. Guys, this is a two-step equation. We solve it the exact same way we've been solving equations since September. So we move the number further from the variable. So we subtract the 131. So we have 7x equals 49. And then we divide by 7 on both sides. So x equals 7. Now, what you guys have to be careful of is read these directions. It says find x. And then we have to find the angle measurement. So look at this. We got x equals 7, but that is not what the angle measurement is. That just is what we need to plug in to 7x minus 3 to get the actual angle measurement. So we're going to have to plug 7 in for x and simplify. So 7 times 7 is 49, minus 3 is 46 degrees. So we really have two answers. We had to get x equals 7 in order to find out that this is a 46 degree angle. Guys, what I love about this unit is you can check every single problem. So if I take my three angles, so 75 plus 59 plus 46, they should equal 180. And they do. And they do. All right, let's try that one again. Let's try one like that again. Okay? But you're really just setting up a very, very basic equation there. Okay? All right, so I'm going to add up my three angles. So we have 24 plus 27 plus this entire angle, so you have to write it all down, 3x plus 33 equals 180. So we're going to start off the same way. Combine your like terms. So all of my whole numbers and all of my x's, so 24 plus 27 plus 33, I get 84. And then I solve my two-step equation. So it's a positive 84, so I have to subtract it. I subtract those, I get 96. I have to divide the 3 away. So I get x equals 32. Okay. Now this is not my angle measurement, guys. I still have to go back and plug 32 in for x. So I get 3 times x, which is 32, plus 33. So 3 times 32 is 96, plus 33 is 129 degrees. Guys, as you can see, this angle is what we're finding. If you notice, that is an obtuse angle. Okay, so that's one of our vocab words. That's an obtuse angle. So I know that that has to be greater than 90 degrees. So if you get x equals 32, that can't even be possible for that to be our angle measurement because it's not over 90 degrees. But I can check my math, take 129 plus the other two angles, just to make sure I get 180. And I do. All right, let's do 2 more. They're slightly more complicated, but not too bad. It's still the same process. Our process does not change, okay? All right, so as you notice, there are 2 angles on this one that we don't know. We don't know angle B, and we don't know angle C, okay? But we set it up the same way. So if I add the 3 of these together, so 38 plus x plus the x plus 2, all 3 of those added together is still going to equal 180. Okay, so combine like terms. So I need to put my whole numbers together. So 38 plus 2 is 40. And then I can combine my x's. If you want to put a 1 in front of there, you can. So I have 1x, and I have another x. So I have 2x. And now I have a 2-step problem again. So I subtract 40. I get 2x equals 140. I divide by 2. So I get x equals 70. Okay? So as you can see over here, guys, on the right, I have a spot for you to contain all of your answers. So right here, I want you to write x equals 70 so you can keep your answers organized. Because we have 2 other little math problems we have to do, okay? Angle A, we already know, is 38 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and write that over here already, because they already told us that. All right, so angle B. Since angle B is just x by itself, there's no extra math to do there. So angle B's measurement would be 70 degrees, since that is what x equaled. But angle C, which is right here, I have to plug in what I got for x into the expression. So 70 plus 2 is 72. So angle C is 72 degrees. Guys, again, if you take 38 plus 70 plus 72, it should equal 180 if we got it right. And we did. All right, one last one. This one looks complicated, but it's really not any different than the others. It's just a couple more x's. So guys, remember that they only put these parentheses so that you don't forget that that all goes to this angle. Okay, but when we write it down into our math problem, we're going to drop those parentheses. So we're going to label this one angle A, angle B, and angle C, since I didn't do that before. Okay. So the first one is 8x minus 1, and we have to add that to the next one, 3x plus 4, and then we have to add that with the third one, 3x plus 9. And those three interior angles will always equal 180 degrees. So we're going to solve. So find all your whole numbers. So -1, +4, +9. We get 12. And then we have to find all of our x's. So we have 8x, +3x, and +3x. 8 plus 3 plus 3. I get +14x equals 180. So a two-step equation again. So I subtract 12. So I get 14x equals, I'm going to move it down here, 168. I divide by 14. I get x equals 12. So again, let's keep our work organized. So let's go ahead and write it over here. So x equals 12. And then we need to go back and plug it into each one of these angles. So angle A, we're going to take 8 times 12 minus 1. So angle A is 95 degrees. We're going to do the same thing for angle B. So for angle B, we take 3 times 12 plus 4. So we should get 40 degrees for angle B. And then do the last one, 3 times 12 plus 9. We get 45 degrees. So then you can add up those three angles, 95 plus 40 plus 45, and it should equal 180. And it does. Okay, so just a little bit more work involved, but it's a very, very simple concept, simple process. Okay, but if you need to, go back and rewatch any part of the video, okay, or you can always ask me for help.